Hebrews 12 verse 1, Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. I come to share the revelation of May 2, 2011. After we had prayed, we continued with the Sabbath worship, and at around 11 a.m. the Lord gave us another revelation. While the pastor was preaching, the Lord showed me a woman. He told me, look at her. When she was still on earth I really loved her, and when I looked at this woman she was dressed in a short skirt with a short-sleeved t-shirt, and she lived like a pagan in the world. I watched the lady joining a liberal church where you can dress anyhow. She was allowed to dress like those of the world, thus she continued to dress like that as her outfit had not changed. In fact, nothing had changed, and sometime later the Lord showed me this sister again. However, this time around she wore a long loose skirt beyond her ankles with a long sleeve that was loose and a headscarf, for she has joined Narrow Door Church and has become an authentic Christian. And the Lord said, look at the life of this woman on earth. She was my servant. Most of her prayer had been answered, but look where she ended the race. And the Lord showed me in a screen her life on earth. This woman was in hell, in a kind of transparent cube, which was heating inside and outside. In fact, this cube in which her soul was incarcerated was like glass. Actually, there were several cubes in this section of hell, and these cubes were digital and it was glass-like digital. And those who were imprisoned in the digital cubes were the businessmen and women who operated in video games industry. They were investors who were behind the designs of the video games. I was told by the Lord the soul of people who are addicted to video games were also in prison inside this cube that were burning. So these games are currently for sale all over the world via the net. The Lord told me, I am repelled by all kinds of games you play on the earth. I am against video games, including games of chance, all the games you install on your phone, your tablet and device. All these games do not glorify me. At that moment, I watch on the screen that the Lord pulled before me, and I saw this woman that has joined Holiness Church. She was now very committed to the faith in the service of the Lord. She was very submissive to the word. She was faithful and obedient to the Lord after joining the conservative church. In truth, she had left everything to follow the Lord, but there was a sin to which she could not resist. She had installed in her mobile phone a game that everyone knows very well. It's the game called Zuma. The lady had accepted the Lord very young when she was only 22 years old. I saw that she was not married and had no children. She remained that way without getting married and without child until her death at the age of 38. However, prior to her death, the Lord has warned her against video games many times through his servants, telling her to separate from this entertainment of the devil. Moreover, the Lord had intervened by means of her own mouth through prophecy to warn and forbid her to play this game. The lady was God-fearing and she was running the race very well. This game was the only thing that still dragged her in the world. It is written, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. This lady often said in her heart, help me Lord, you know I can't live without it, please help me. But the attitude with which she said these words was not that of someone who was sincere. It was not a heartfelt prayer, for there was no regret. She was failed to deeply regret her weakness and cried to the Lord to deliver her. There was complacency in her words and she had become comfortable with the game which the Lord found repellent. The lady did not want to give up this sin. She felt pleasure in playing this game. When the Lord saw that she was hardening her heart, she did not want to listen to him. The Lord left. As a result, she regressed considerably in faith. She no longer meditated on the word. She hardly prayed anymore. When she went to the church, it was with a lot of heaviness. She had become more and more addicted to the game, and Satan injected more thought into his mind, telling her, look how long you have been serving your God. You spent many years serving your God, but he gave you neither husband nor children. You are alone, and he will give you nothing. Renounce him and serve me fully. I want to reward you. I saw Satan bursting into sadistic laughter as he whispered in the ears of this lady. When he reminded her that she was still single, no man was coming for marriage, she was then discouraged. Finally, she had given up everything despite the fact that church members were supporting her to return to the Lord. She no longer manifested the desire to return to church. She was completely discouraged. She had abandoned everything. She died in her room with the laptop in her hands, still playing this game of Zuma. When she died, two demons of terrifying appearance came. They appeared in her room, one on her left and the other on the right. As soon as they arrived, they violently pulled her soul from her body. She found herself naked in the middle of the demons. She had a huge bag on her back that she was forced to lift because these load was her sins, and her fingers were disheveled. At that moment the earth opened under their feet. The demon dragged her soul to hell. She fell into this cubic cell of glass that was heated. This was her final conditions. This is what I had to share with you. Peace and grace.